What's up, everybody? I'm James Bell, VPN's most reliable photographer. It's 12:30 on a Wednesday afternoon, and I don't have any of these metropolitan pigs helping me figure anything out about this Jigsaw case. It's been months since I've had any footage of any of the survivors or any of the killings, and I'm craving more content. Hey, Goings, what's going on? What's going on with these Jigsaw murders? Have you discovered Jigsaw's body? Have you found any more bodies? Do you have any current suspects? Because if you're hiding more killings from the public, that's complete bullshit, man. I gotta make a living too, you know? Oh, come on, there's gotta be something you can give me.
We're doing everything we can to make sure these attacks don't happen again. You have a good day, sir.
And I think some of my tax money goes to paying these assholes.
Okay, look. I know I've been very vocal about the incompetence and the problems with the police force in the past. But stuff like this has got to stop, people, alright? We can't be harassing the cops about the Jigsaw killings. I want answers as much as you all do. And I understand that the police force is a joke right now. But there are still good cops out there, like Justin Goins right there. So I'm asking you all to please stop harassing all of the law enforcement officials about the Jigsaw killings. Believe me, they got enough problems on their hand. Having said that, welcome back to the Jigsaw Blogs. I'm Jacob Walton, and today we're going to take a look at all of the fallen officers that tried to apprehend the Jigsaw Killer. Ever since the beginning, the police tried to catch the Jigsaw Killer and his associates from completing their work. However, it took the police over a year and a half to actually figure out that it was actually John Kramer was the man that they called Jigsaw. Jigsaw not only tried to test people around his life, but he also tested the officers themselves. Some of these officers were killed in the line of duty, either by one of his death traps or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we're about to go over each one of them today. Like I said, no matter how corrupt, dirty, or incompetent some of these police officers were, at the end of the day, they still risked their lives and end up giving their lives trying to save others and prevent Jigsaw from killing any more victims. And we're here to honor them today. These are the fallen officers that tried to stop the Jigsaw Killer.
911, what is your emergency?
2 officers are down at 213 Stygian Street. You must hurry.
Help has been dispatched. Sir, do you know who perpetrated these assaults?
The world is a dangerous place.
Stephen Singh. Singh was the first police officer who died in the line of duty while trying to apprehend the Jigsaw Killer. He traveled with his partner, Detective David Tapp, to 213 Stygian Street to locate the Jigsaw Killer without any backup or warrant for that matter. Singh was shot multiple times in the head by the shotgun trigger trap while walking trying to apprehend the Jigsaw Killer. David Tapp. After the death of his partner Singh, Tapp was discharged from the police force, and for months he became obsessed with finding Jigsaw, which led to the events with the Gordon family and later the events at Whitehurst Insane Asylum. He later traveled home and committed suicide after the events of the asylum. Allison Carey. Tested in the Angel Trap. Detective Carey was one of the original homicide detectives who started the Jigsaw investigations. She became a target herself when she tried to go after Jigsaw and Amanda Young. She was abducted by Amanda Young after the Troy Baker trap. Unfortunately, she was given no chance to escape the Angel Trap, and she was murdered by Amanda Young. And it's a shame because Carey was the only detective that fully understood Jigsaw's methods, and it's a damn shame she was murdered by Amanda Young. Detective Eric Matthews. Another member of the Homicide Division who was once a well-respected detective, but through further investigations, he was accused of planting evidence against suspects, police brutality, and even gunning down an unarmed suspect. When his son Daniel was kidnapped by Jigsaw, Eric was forced to play Jigsaw's game. He would fail his test and would help Jigsaw escape from police custody. But by doing so, he was kidnapped by Amanda Young and held hostage for 6 months. Soon afterwards, he was tested again along with his SWAT lieutenant, Daniel Rigg. When Rigg failed his test, Eric was crushed and killed in the ice cube trap. Lieutenant SWAT Commander Daniel Rigg. Rigg's test was to learn how to let go and that he can't save everyone from any jigsaw attacks. Rigg failed his final test in trying to save Eric Matthews and was shot and killed by Eric in the ice cube trap. The Metropolitan SWAT team officers. There have been at least 7 members of Rigg's SWAT team who were killed in the line of duty. 2 of these officers were killed in Jigsaw's warehouse by an electrical trap. These men were Darren McGuire and John Stoneham. The other 5 SWAT officers were gassed alive in the Bobby Dagan game. These officers were Pete Logan, Bill Oliver, Patrick Mark, Reagan Moore, and the newly promoted lieutenant, Simon Norwood. The Internal Affair officers. One of the victims that was the head of the department was Matt Gibson. Matt was shot and killed by a turret gun along with officers Richard Dent and Harvey Dover. Gibson was the IA officer that investigated Mark Hoffman, Eric Matthews, Daniel Rigg, and others for their suspicious criminal activities in years prior. During the attacks at the precinct, Mark Hoffman was able to murder several more officers who were guarding Jill Tuck. These people were Dr. Hefner, Phil Morrison, Danny Lima, Leslie Neely, Rachel Palmer, and Chad Rogers. The FBI agents. The FBI got involved when they received a message from Detective Carey about 2 officers that might be in danger. However, it was later revealed that it was actually Mark Hoffman who sent the messages and the key posing as Detective Carey to Special Agents Lindsay Perez and Peter Strong. It was also during this time that a CSI photographer, Chelsea Clark, was also killed by the spike trap in a misfire accident. According to the reports, Special Agent Erickson made the call to place Perez in witness protection to escape further jigsaw attacks. Agent Strong was also attacked by Mark Hoffman and he escaped the Q trap at the Gideon warehouse. He would later try to take down Mark Hoffman himself, but would go missing after stealing several of the Jigsaw FBI files from Special Agent Erickson. He is likely presumed dead. During the night of the Umbrella Health Games, Hoffman murdered FBI agents Perez, Erickson, and the tech director, Sashi Wynn. Hoffman would then burn their remains in an attempt to cover his tracks. No evidence was given as to how the FBI figured out that Mark Hoffman was the accomplice to Jigsaw. So including homicide, internal affairs, SWAT team, and FBI, there's a grand total of 27 known fallen officers who died in the line of duty. Having said all that, there are still a few active detectives from different precincts that are still working on the Jigsaw case to this day. Detective Fisk, who was working on the Jigsaw cases since the beginning, was later promoted to captain of the Metropolitan Police Department until he resigned in 2017 after the new Jigsaw murders started popping up again. Today, the new head captain of the Metropolitan Police Department is run by Angie Garza. SWAT Commander LaManna would later be promoted to lieutenant a few years later. He would retire in early 2019 and be replaced by Lieutenant Vic Ortiz. Keith Hunt is still active on the police force, and his partner Detective Halloran is still missing after the first Jigsaw events. With Captain Garza's leadership and the influence of police veterans such as Marcus Banks, the Metropolitan Police Department will continue to do everything in their power to make sure that these Jigsaw attacks will never happen again. Well, that's all the time for we have in this episode. Tune in next time as we go over every known Jigsaw associate or accomplice that worked for him during his reign of terror. Please continue to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram for more updates. I'm Jacob Walton, and this has been the Jigsaw Blogs. Hey, Mom, how you doing? That's good, that's good. But hey, listen. I need a favor, okay? Yeah. Do you remember that girl in second grade a long time ago during the Jigsaw attacks?